Hey guys, it's your boy, Scam Likely, back at it again with another vlog, and I decided to shake things up today by not doing it in front of my car. I'm also going to shake things up by not looking at my camera because I feel like I have to look at myself. I don't know why, my camera's just all the way over there, so here I am. This is just the way I do streaming. It's the way I like it. It's the way I do things. I'm getting older. You know how these old folks are. They just don't like changing anymore. I think you actually get to a certain age and you just don't change anymore. I feel like that age is 27, and I'm closer to 30 now than 27, and I hate it. So, you know, I already made a video a couple weeks ago complaining about that because that's all I do anymore. I complain. Anyways, I just kind of want to just jump into whatever it was I was going to talk about. So I think I talked about it briefly in March, that how my wife and I got married in March 15th, and then the day after, when her mother was supposed to go back home because she lives out of state, she passed away in her sleep, heart failure, and it's kind of a not just kind of, it's been a big thing for all of us because we. Obviously, my wife loved her mother. That was the most important person in the world to her, and I say that as her husband. No, there's no greater bond than a mother and a daughter. I really don't think that's, I really don't think it's wrong. I think it's entirely correct, and I even really loved her too. It's been hard because, for the first time in our lives, we're having to do like adult big boy stuff, because we have to deal with probate, and it's. She didn't have a will, but my wife was her only daughter, and there wasn't any other family that could really argue over this stuff, so that made it easy. But we finally got to the point where things are starting to die down from that. And then last Sunday, we realized we hadn't heard from her father in a few days, and that's not normal. We've been kind of worried about his health, and my mother-in-law's passing was a big, wake-up call for everybody. It was a big wake-up call for everybody in my family to start getting their stuff together. Myself, my mom, my dad, my grandparents, everybody started getting their stuff together because we just realized that, we haven't really had any deaths in the family in a long time, and none of us were ready for it, so we didn't even think about it. But we decided that we were all going to start staying on top of things, and we realized that it had been a few days since we heard from him. That's when we decided to give him a call. He didn't answer, and then I called him a few times, didn't answer. We called his neighbor, and his neighbor answered. He didn't answer. And then that's when his neighbor decided to go over, and then we found out that he had passed away. So the next day, we took a trip up to the middle of nowhere where he lives. He lives out in the middle of nowhere outside of a major city, and I thought where I had lived in Georgia was the sticks. It's not the sticks. I've seen the sticks now. I've truly seen the sticks, and I really miss him. It's just I had to make a video because it's kind of therapeutic to just really talk about it. I've talked about it to family, but there's a lot that happened over the week too. It's a vlogging channel. I'm going to vlog. I'm going to talk about this. So I want to preface this by saying that I'm not. Any of what I'm about to say, I'm not gonna try and dunk on anyone. I'm not gonna try and make fun of anyone for anything of what I'm about to say. But I knew John, her father. I knew he was. We kind of knew he was a hoarder, and that kind of fascinated me a little because I'm a big fan of the show, not the Hoarders. The show is just Hoarders. I'm a big fan of the show Hoarders, and I always said, man, it's gotta feel really good to just clean up, hoarder house someday. And well, I had my chance. Oh man, you couldn't really tell by looking at him. You couldn't tell by looking at the front of the house that that's the way that he lived. And it's a mental. It really is a mental illness. It doesn't mean you're stupid. It just means that you have a cognitive distortion. It's something you can control. You can't do it. You can't bring yourself to get rid of stuff. And so, seeing it firsthand, it was kind of eye-opening that I had always looked at something on TV with fascination, but it was just it was real. It was really real, and I had my chance to get my wish about seeing what it would like to be cleaning a hoarder house, because I cleaned a hoarder house. Yeah, I got some pictures. So All right, so I got a couple of pictures here. These ones are from day one of us getting to cleaning. So this first picture that I'm looking at here, this is actually the living room of the home that he was in. That big box that you see right there in the corner, that's on top of the chair that he lived in. In case you're wondering how big that pile of paper and newspaper and junk on the floor is, that is about 4 inches thick of composted newspaper and wrappers from over a decade of compulsive hoarding. Next, we've got, this is like the side entrance. It's like kind of like a front entrance. It's not supposed to be the front entrance, but that's what he used it as, because the front door actually goes to that living room I just showed you, but the living room is so cluttered that he really can't get to it. So, fun stuff. Oh yeah, there's actually like a couch underneath all of that giant pile. You can't see it. It's actually a pretty nice couch. It's one of the few pieces of furniture we didn't have to throw away. Next, this is the dining room table and his fridge. I don't have any pictures of the fridge. You don't want to see it anyway. I looked at it and I didn't want to see it. So some of these documents go back to like the late 90s. It's kind of insane. This is the kitchen. In case you're wondering what those tall white tube-looking things are, those are just 7 feet tall stacks of yogurt and cottage cheese containers. It's, oh man, they weren't all completely washed out. So yeah, that's the oven behind there, and then his counters, of course. Yeah, this is a picture. I didn't take a picture of the bedroom, but this is the doorway to the bedroom, just because I didn't want to obviously violate the man's privacy. So again, this is all just, I'm showing you this just because I thought it was fascinating. I kind of want to give like an update on my life, and I don't want to show everyone like, wow, look at the way the guy lived. I mean, I definitely had that thought a few times, but again, it's nothing you can really control. That's just the way that it's a mental illness. It just happens to people, and I just kind of wanted to document this and document my journey over this entire last week and couple of days. So that's all the first day. Oh, and then this last one here. This is the haul of the first day of cleaning. We didn't have a dumpster at this point, but we got as much as we could in trash bags, and this is all over the course of, I think, like 5 hours. We got this much done. We had to separate a lot of stuff too, so there's more work than just these bags, but there's still a lot of bags here. Oh, I found some pictures of some bugs. There's a cool orb beaver spider. He was kind of big, and he was not near me, so that was cool. Found a stick bug. And then I found this truck at Walmart. Woo! Alright, so I got some pictures of day 2 of cleanup. Day 2 of cleanup, as you can see, we have made a lot of progress. Once when the dumpsters finally arrived, they put them outside the front door, which we didn't really tell them to put them there because it was hoarded, but whatever. It's a good thing they put them there, because I realized if we just open that door, we can just go right to the dumpsters. It's fine. So I started working as hard as I could to clean up, make a way for the door. And if you guys see, there are 2 shovels here, because we were literally shoveling 4-inch thick piles of composted newspaper and trash. You really had to shovel it. You couldn't just pick it all up with your hands, because a lot of it crumbled in your hands. That's how old a lot of this stuff was. Next, here's the side room. Again, that couch I told you that was under there, that's the couch. It wasn't made of like fabric or anything, so it didn't have any like trash on it. Everything that was on it was kind of new and like still in boxes, so it didn't really get damaged at all. So one of the few pieces of the furniture that we actually got to keep. Next here is this office. It was really clean, but then we use it as kind of a sorting point for my wife to go look through important documents. That eventually got cleaned out later too. Alright, the next thing I really wanted to get into is just, I took a video of the final day. Again, think of all the trash that you saw, and for reference, for understanding of just how much trash there was, there were 2 dumpsters that were almost equally full, one a little less than the other. The first dumpster that we hauled off was 3,900 pounds. I remember that number because if we had gotten to 4,000 pounds, they would have charged us more for the dumpster. So it was a good thing that we were 100 pounds short. The other dumpster was just a little less full than the first, so again, didn't get charged extra for it, but yeah. So I'm going to play a video right now, and then that's going to show you the final walkthrough, so yeah. Alright, so this is a video of the house. This is my father-in-law's house, John's house. He grew up in this house. He grew up in this house with his parents, and then when his parents left, when they passed on, they left the house to him. So We already have all the stuff that we're just going to donate under tarp. And then over there we had a burn pile for all the important documents. There's his neighbor's car and his neighbor's truck in the trailer. We've got like 2 different sheds here that were both filled with stuff. One was used more for storage, and the other had a bunch of really good, really old family stuff from his aunt. Sorry, how do you unlock this? How do doors work? So I wasn't able to take any videos the first time because I was more focused on trying to walk in the first place. So, is the light working? There's the light, yeah. So I got pictures of the first walkthrough. I was trying to make sure I could even stand in the first place, so video wasn't really going to happen. I'm trying to keep my eyes open, but we've done a lot to really clear it out in this whole week that we've been here. So this is technically not the entryway, but this is the entryway that John used all the time, so this is kind of the new front door. Over here we've got like this office space. Where's that light at? Perfect. So again, cleaned this out. We could not see the floor in any of the rooms when we started. It's insane the amount of work that we all put in. This is a bunch of encyclopedias that his aunt had, and his aunt made a lot of money. She had a whole bunch of them and just sold them for a lot. Yeah, these little things are cute. I don't know what they are. I don't know if they're just supposed to be wall decorations, but they're cute. This is the shift robe, which we ended up having to break all the windows and glass in the mirror in because we knew there was going to be some important stuff in there, and we found at least 50 keys in this house, and none of them went to the shift robe. So I'm gonna skip the bathroom because it's really not worth showing. I don't know if you guys can hear me really well. We've had that fan in there because you really got to have the air conditioning on. You're going to have the air flowing in this place to keep the smell and keep the mold at bay. But yeah, so one of the pictures, I don't know if you guys can recognize this. Sorry, it's getting blurry because of the light change here. So this picture, excuse me, this room, this was John's living room, essentially. The table wasn't there. The table's on the other side of the wall. This is where the chair was. There was a couch right here. We didn't know there was a couch in this room just because of how much stuff was in here. So I cannot tell you how many spiders we found here. And actually I'm actually just noticing this picture here, mysterious time photo. I found another copy of this photo buried beneath the hoard, and it came with a story about how a woman had traveled to Galilee, and an ancient and some mystic had told her to take the picture, and then there's Jesus and his uncle. So my father-in-law, he was kind of big into conspiracy theory stuff, to the point where it went from conspiracy theory to occultism. So I don't think I actually got a picture of this oven the first time we went through, but I'm honestly hesitant to get close to this oven again because all these drawers I already went through, and there were a lot of spiders in this house. I'm honestly getting like goosebumps and chills just thinking about how many spiders we had to kill, how many spiders were crawling around. I had 2 spiders crawling on me. One ended up on my face mask, and I had to scream really this guttural primal fear. I ran outside, I took my shirt off, I stomped on it, scratching all my body. So this is the man's bedroom. This is where John slept, and none of the lights are turning on. That's cool. But most of the important stuff we found here is in the closet, which, again, this is full. I didn't take any pictures of his room the first time because we cleared out all the personal possessions, and I didn't want to have all his personal stuff kind of on blast. I don't want any pictures of that either. But this is honestly like basically the entire house because it's really just a trailer. But for how small of a house this really is, there was just so much going on. There was a lot in here, and my back is killing me, my shoulders are killing me, and I've been here for a whole week, and you guys can see that even then it's not entirely done. We've picked up all the trash, but there's no way that we would have enough time or the effort. And honestly, I think if anybody were to try and go in here and clean things, they'd need a hazmat suit. The only parts of this counter like even just like square centimeters of this counter that aren't covered in stuff, that aren't covered in like mold and stuff, is just because there were too many things on top of it, honestly. Um, yeah, I just want to get a quick video of here while I was in here. So before I left, because I don't know when the next time I'm coming back out here is. It's a really long drive from where I live to come out here, and I know we're not going to do this anytime soon, but you know, this is where my father-in-law is buried. So, I mean, not in this house, of course, but you know, in the city, and we need to come back and pay respects eventually. And his neighbors, I'm shooting this before I actually talk about before I make the video that I'm going to be talking about, my vlog video. So I'm going to assume I'm talking about Ronald, but Ronald, he's John's neighbor, and he's our neighbor, but he was more than that. They were like family, so they're family. We're going to come back and visit at some point, but not anytime soon. So I just want to get a quick video here. So anyways, video over. All right, so I talked about Ronald a bit in the walkthrough video. Ronald is the neighbor that I had mentioned that we had called to check on him. So again, I don't want to like talk bad about anybody. I just want to say that like I had a really bad image of Ronald in my mind before I ever met him. Ronald is my father-in-law's neighbor, and all I'd ever heard about him was, he's my neighbor, and he's living in the house next door for free, because my father-in-law owned his house. He owned the house where Ronald was living, and then he owned another house too, apparently. And all I'd ever heard is that, like, oh yeah, Ronald is he lives in the property for free, and he doesn't pay you rent, and he's like asking for money, and that's all I ever heard about him. And like John, my father-in-law, he never clarified that. He never gave us context for that. So that's all I heard. And so when I just showed up for the first time, you know, we drove like it was like a 7-hour drive to get there. And when I met the guy, I was totally blown away by who this man was. Ronald is a good man. He's been a good neighbor to John, and I didn't realize like just how much he actually took care of my father-in-law. Because my father-in-law, he's an old guy. He's an old guy, and he's not have good health. He was a trucker for most of his life, and he doesn't eat well. He doesn't exercise. So when I talked to Ronald, and I found out that he and his wife had him over every Sunday for dinner, and that they took care of him. They helped him with bills. They helped him with finances. They drove him places so that he didn't drive, because he definitely wasn't a good driver either. I'm so glad I met him, because it was such a relief to know that there was so much love. There was so much love between Ronald and my father-in-law. They really were like family, and these are some of the nicest people I've ever met. So meeting them was an absolute pleasure. And the only negative thing I can say about that family is that they're getting me back into Fortnite. So I'm going to be streaming that soon. So look out for that. Again, that's like the only negative thing I can say about them. They convinced me to rejoin Fortnite. So whatever, you know. They're good people. So like again to clarify what I had said earlier, that like, you know, that he lived in the house for free. Ronald, like that house was dilapidated when Ronald moved in, and he actually apparently knew my father-in-law his entire life, because it's a small town. It's the sticks. Like everybody's families, they all live there. Everybody's families, they live together. They know each other. We had the service for my father-in-law, and like two old people who had never met before, just by last names, found out that they were like second cousins, because they figured out that like one's grandfather was a cousin to the other's uncle or something like that. That's how small this town is. So Ronald had known John like his entire life, and when he moved into the house, he wasn't paying rent, but the house was also dilapidated, and he had no ownership, no financial stake in this house other than the fact that he lived there. And he put $20,000 over like the last 10 years or so of his own money into repairs in the house to make it livable. So that's huge. So given how far away that like all of, you know, my father-in-law's land was, we don't want to manage it, and we're not going to try and like rent it out or sell it to other people. He's been living there, and he took great care of my father-in-law, you know, my wife's father. So we're going to make sure that we do the same. We're going to take care of him too. So that's I just want to talk about Ronald. He's a good dude. The whole family's great. They took us in. they took us in. They helped us out the whole week, and I'm sad. I'm sad that he's gone, but in another way, John's passing led to us having an even bigger family, because now Ronald and his family, they're part of ours and we're part of theirs. So it's been a rough week. I actually like I'm pretty chill and reserved right now, because I mean, A, it's a somber topic, but B, I really messed up my back shoveling all that crap into the dumpster. So I just got back from a really nice hour-long massage at Massage Envy. My mom is a regular over there, and I didn't know they have reward system, but they do. They have reward points, and my mama was nice enough to give me her reward points and set up an hour-long massage for me. And I was so bad that even the masseuse had to make a comment on how bad I was after I was done. So she was like elbow deep in muscles I didn't even know I had. She's probably gonna need a masseuse after this. So anyways, I just wanted to get into that real bit, and I just wanted to show you it's such a bizarre experience. Again, I'm not doing this to put anyone on blast, but it's a vlog, and it's such a bizarre experience cleaning out a hoarder house, seeing one in person, and cleaning it out. It's such a bizarre experience. I kind of had to talk about it. So if you guys are still here listening to this, I thank you for hanging out with me and listening to me spill my guts. I've got some stuff I want to talk about with my channel, but I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to make a video in the next couple of days or so. Now that I'm back from my week-long visit to another dimension known as the Boonies, I can start working on the video I was planning on doing for Void Bastards. It's a pretty good game. I played on Twitch. If you're not following me on Twitch, it's twitch.tv/vicedebts. I'm probably going to be changing my channel name from Scam Likely to Vice Debts in the future, but again, I want to talk about it in the video later. But I'll talk about my Void Bastards video, which I plan on having coming out soon. So as usual, I love you guys, and I'm glad you're here, and thanks for hanging out and with me and listening to me. All right.